Okay, so this is the thing that I set up for my Google Classroom, and I'm doing it with a music theory class. So at the very beginning, you can see a post for a welcome letter that I put with all my information for students to get to know me. Has stuff like education, my involvement, favorites, and this is something that can be sent to students and parents so that they can get to know me better. Have weekly announcements every week to let them know what's coming up in the upcoming week. You can see I want to post a weekly calendar, so this is basically taking their Google Calendar that they have access to and just posting the week at a glance to let them know, like, hey, this assignment's due, this is coming up, all of that stuff. Then they can see their upcoming assignments here and go to them straight from that. And then they can announce something to the class or respond to posts or things like that. For classwork, you can see all of these assignments that I have along with lessons. So if you go to the chord lesson, that's going to take you to this PowerPoint right here for the lesson. So with chords, I was using a KWL. So K is what they already know, and what W is what they want to know. So that's something that they would do at the beginning of the lesson, talking about chords, and then the L at the end. They would say, hey, this is what I learned from this lesson. For this, I wanted to use a jigsaw strategy, which works on different types of learning styles. So they leave and go study the style or the topic by themselves, which is an intrapersonal learning style, and then they come back and talk about it as a group and teach their other classmates, which is interpersonal, and then we discuss it as class. So the assessment during this would be checking their discussion and making sure that they know everything by the end of class. Then there's assignment for that, which can be made on a Google Doc or anything else that you want it to be made on. Then there's a how to compose chords lesson, which for this one, we're doing a video and hands-on activity using Padlet, which Padlet is an anonymous way for them to kind of share their ideas and thoughts, so I can get to know how much they understand of it. It allows me to assess their knowledge and move forward and adapt my lesson for them. I wanted to make an interactive assessment with a composition software where they can compose their own music, and then we can all kind of assess it, or we can work together and compose music together using Padlet as an anonymous way to make suggestions. The assessment would mainly be used through Padlet for them to know, and then they would have an assignment with composition, which would be like composing the chords through a music software or something like that. And then they would have a test on chords, the basic structure of them, how to write them, how to identify them, and then how to compose them. And there's many different ways that you can make these assignments, like through Google Docs, Google Slides, music software, Google Form, things like that you can make these tests in a virtual setting. All of this information can be sent to parents through emails, newsletters, things like that, but they can also have access to the Google Classroom and see all of these things that are coming up for their child and for the students. So yeah, that's pretty much everything from Google Classroom. Thank you.